Hey folks, it's in here. So Midnight Hunt has come out. I'd like to switch over. We're gonna open up some packs and then build something. So let's see what we got here. Okay, ooh, a Teferi, nice. Okay, let's keep going. So let's see if we can make that happen here. There's a lot of pretty powerful cards. Wrenn and Seven, nice. I have one of those already. This is very powerful. Okay, last 10. Very Angel. It's pretty cool. Pithing Needle. Okay, so first, so you'll notice the standard 22 is gone because rotation has happened. So now we are back to normal standard. Let's see what we have in green and black color. Okay, so Wrenn and Seven. This thing is crazy good. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library, put all land cards revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. It's +1. 0. Put any number of land cards from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. So it's kind of like Jadzi's effect, only hers, the flip side Journey. Only hers is untapped, so this one is unfortunately tapped, but for being a 0, it's still pretty strong. -3, create a green tree folk creature token with reach, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, which is crazy good. What I'm thinking is really the first, the +1, and the -3. So we're gonna be doing ramp and pairing this with Esika's Chariot. So we'll -3 to make tokens. These tokens get crazy big. Esika's Chariot, copy the tokens, and their power and toughness is equal to the number of lands. So the more lands we get, the bigger these will grow. Those tokens will get crazy big. So that's kind of the direction I want to go in with this guy. What's also nice is it's 3 green to cast. So if we want to do a black-green, a Golgari base, we can easily fit this in with Blood on the Snow and recur Wrenn and Seven with that. So this fits perfectly into like that mana curve and that cost for recursion. So let's add in 3 of those for now. Okay. So this could be interesting. We'll put 1 in here for now, and then we can always remove that when we want to. So Path to the Festival. This is one of the new ramp spells. So first 2 in a green. Not great. Sorcery. So sorcery speed, not instant speed. But to be fair, it's search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. If there are 3 or more basic land types among lands you control, scry 1. So if you were doing a try or more color deck, you can get a scry effect out of it. Cool, not bad. That's after you shuffle, so you can at least know what's on top, or if it's not good, scry it out. And then it has flashback. So for 4 in a green, you can flash it back, do it one more time, and exile Path to the Festival. So it's kind of like Cultivate in that you can search for any color. So this allows you to mana fix, whereas most of the existing, what would have been standard 22, which is now just standard ramp spells in green were specific to the color green. So you were only getting forests for most of that stuff, which made using the ramp for multicolor, aside from Simic because of the Quandrix Cultivator, very difficult. Whereas this kind of starts bringing back some of the multicolor mana fix potential in our ramp. So we will add in at least 2 of these, I think. Let's see what else we have here. All right, so this is pretty much, I think, purpose made for what we're doing here. So you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands from the top of your library, as long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. Coven, new mechanic. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. So this is kind of like Realm Walker, but it's better. So this is a pretty cool card. We're going to put at least 2 of these in. So this Primal Adversary, 2 and a green, 4/3, trample. So just by itself, that's a great stat line. Has trample. And when it enters the battlefield, you can pay 1 and a green any number of times. However many times you do that, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And then that many target lands you control become 3/3 wolf creatures with haste that are still lands. And that's not until end of turn, that's just forever. Until they die, you win, whatever. So because we're going to be ramping so much, this is a perfect card to fit into our overall kind of theme for the deck. So definitely we'll put in 2 of those guys. That would be fantastic. Or awful. So this guy, for 3, when he enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards, and you may return a land card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's not to the battlefield, but help dig through the deck, get land into our hand. We can, +0, Wrenn and Seven, drop land. That could be helpful for us. Okay, let's switch over to black and say, okay. So this is really powerful if you're playing something that can make night happen, or versus someone that is also using the day-night mechanic. The -2/-2 could kill something, could save your creature and result in opponents dying. And then if it's night, creature getting -13/-13. Yeah, I mean, that's effectively just a straight up kill spell, but it gets around indestructible, right? So Toski, if that's buffed up like crazy, or Irmistrom, whatever. -13/-13 goes a long way. So that's pretty cool. A take on Flunk, basically, right? I like this. Like we'll put in 2 of those. Okay, Infernal Grasp, new kill spell. Definitely include a couple of those. Alright, so if we're doing our ramp, let's see what we have. So Adversary. Let's get rid of that. No need that. Okay, so let's turn off Midnight Hunt specific. Open this back up. So for our purposes, so we want to be doing land ramp. So the treasure package, the main benefit is it would help us kind of cast some of our actual mana land ramp spells potentially a little faster. So we could possibly go a bit into that form of ramp to kind of speed up the somewhat more expensive ramp we have with like Path to the Festival, for example. So if we add in, let's say, 2/3 or 3/4 of that setup, and way out of where I want it to be. Okay, so this gives us draw base, lessons, treasure, early chumps, slight ramp into our better ramp, and then from there we can set up our actual endgame goal, which will be to just get land, control the board state, dump land, Esika, stuff like that. So speaking of, let's grab Esika. Do believe I passed Esika. Yes, I did. There we go. So 4 of those. And then, let's see, we have only those. I think we can probably get rid of those guys. And while this is cool, I think because we're not really playing into the day-night, that's not going to be ultimately super helpful for us. So let's pull those out. Let's grab Blood on the Snow. At least 2 Baleful Mastery, I think. Okay, so we have 4 direct kill, 4 sweepers, maybe a lull to round out. Okay. Let's get our land here. So even though we will be using Blood in the Snow, obviously, I like to have some other options in here because we are multicolored. Say 2 of those faceless. Thank God. Thankfully, we have Field of Ruin again. So this right. Taking a step back a second. So to explain this, so 5 non-snow land, not great. However, we need to make sure that we can kind of switch to the color as needed. So we're gonna have some in here that will not be snow, and we'll just have to live with for 1 or 2 off for a Blood in the Snow recursion of either of those guys. And then Field of Ruin, so this is great because now we can take out Faceless again, as Book of Exalted Deeds specifically is unbanned, and that will be a giant pain if you cannot get rid of it. So having this available again was a requirement. I'm sure if it wasn't planned on being added to the set, they had to add that back in. So they did. It's there. Okay, let's grab our actual snow land. What do we have left here? Okay. Very nice. Alright, ramp. Make sure we get our lessons. Couple of those. Containment breach. Let's get sciences. Necrotic. Probably a good idea. Mascot and that's up. Okay. So Pithing Needle could be interesting to include actually. I forgot about that. What would we want to cut though? Maybe a high twitch and dispute. Well, we'll put in one singular. Oops. Okay. Very nice. Get some sleeves. Hey folks, just an update to the deck. After filming the original video, it's about a day and a half later, there's been quite a lot of movement on the ladder, as you can imagine, in the meta in general, as everyone's kind of figuring out new decks, playing around. Likewise, I've made some changes to the list as presented here, and I wanted to call out a few things in relation to the original version in this video proper, and the matches you're going to watch, and the changes that came after the conclusion of the filming. So in the original version, the deck ran less direct removal, a little heavier on the ramp aspect, less Planeswalker overall, so we had one lull and still the 3 Wrenn. And for the most part that was working, but as some of the newer deck ideas started popping up, and it was clear to me that especially in some of the other control matchups, direct removal was more necessary. So I started out adding in 2 more Infernal Grasp, so I had 3 total of these, and I kept the 2 Baleful Mastery. The issue I found with having 3 of these was in a control matchup, for the most part that was fine. The 2 life lost was okay, and there were not a lot of threats, so removing 1 or 2 of the key things to keep us rolling until we kind of got our presence on board worked out fine. The problem was on more mid-range matchups, having it available, you're going to use it, but often it would just end up getting me killed. And even still, many of the mid-range matchups we're going to run into, the initial creature cost is relatively low, so for many of the cases you can get away with casting Blood Chief without kicking it. And even if you have to kick it, the 4 by the time you need to usually isn't a big deal. It's kind of on parity with where they're. So the way that this is designed to work is you get those early pieces out, like your Twitch, Ghast, another addition, Vengeful Strangler, 1 in a black, cannot block, 2/1, power toughness. When he dies, return it to the battlefield transformed under your control. So we retain control and we choose the target. Attached to target creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. So the flip side, enchantment aura. Enchant creature or planeswalker and opponent controls. Now, there's something very, very important to keep in mind here. The way that this is returning to the battlefield has a very critical aspect to it that we'll get to after I finish reading the actual ability. So it enchants creature or planeswalker that the opponent controls, not one of ours. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchanted permanence controller sacrifices a non-land permanent, then that player loses 1 life. So for the most part, most people arguing against using this card are saying, well, when you return it and put it on something, they'll just sacrifice that thing and then it's over. So for many games, that can be true. And then it's on you to choose something that is appropriately valuable in the first place. So you have 2 ways to go with it. And this is kind of like the Wither Crown enchantment, right? You can put that on something you want to get rid of immediately, or you put it on something that they can't really afford to get rid of, kind of has to stay in play for them to just stay in the game in general, and then they're forced to live with this effect. So how might you do that? Well, let's say you're playing an opponent and they have a Teferi, the new Teferi out, a Lolth, and then several creatures. So when you bring this back, put this on the Teferi or the Lolth, something that's very key to their overall game plan. So now if you put it on their Lolth, for example, they're like, great, I can start sacrificing my creatures and pump the Lolth. Except if you play maybe a Pithing Needle on top of that. So there's a lot of ways that you can use this interaction to your advantage, to force them to clear their board, to ensure that they're sacrificing something that you want them to get rid of. And if they don't kill it and you don't kill it, it's 2 damage. So that's going to give us more life pressure later. It's not about necessarily giving immense life pressure initially, but if we can remove 2, 4, 6 life, let's say, and then we drop Wrenn, make a token, copy a token, by that point we essentially only need those 2 tokens to close out the game. So we've gone from, you know, a 10 turn clock to suddenly now they have 2 turns left, 1 maybe. So that's the idea with the life pressure point of this. If they don't kill it, it's still benefiting us from our late combo, but it's a high thought card. You have to really think about how you're using that enchantment when you bring it back. You don't just dump it on whatever. Even the most valuable thing at a given point may not be the right choice. So you have to really evaluate the board state, how the game is going, what the opponent's been playing, how they're playing. Are they overly aggressive? Are they overly conservative? All of those factors will determine how you want to play this. but it's a very strong card if you play it correctly. On top of that, because this is not being cast, once it enters the battlefield, when an enchantment is not cast from hand, it just enters, the targeting rules are different than normal. When you cast something from your hand, an opponent has a creature with hexproof, you cannot target that creature. It has hexproof. If an enchantment like this enters the battlefield in aura, it's not being cast. Once it's on the battlefield, as long as its other conditions, in this case creature or planeswalker, are met from the opponent, you can place it on anything, because this is the key difference. You're placing the enchantment. You are not targeting from cast. So keep this in mind. I did an experiment with this. There's a ruling. See if I can find that and put that on the screen here. There is a specific ruling that deals with this type of situation in general. So it's very interesting how they built this card. That also kind of kicks up its value. I imagine, based on some of the other cards in Midnight, hexproof is going to be quite annoying. So keep that in mind. Very sneaky, powerful card, depending on the matchup. But in general, for our purposes, for the way this deck is designed to run, possibly life pressure that helps us kind of suddenly close the gap and just finish a game. And then another form of pressure, so that while the opponent is worrying about, well, do I sacrifice this? Do I not sacrifice? Etc., trying to figure all that out, we have more time to set up, if we haven't yet, and get our combos rolling, get our board stated into a stable place, so that suddenly that doesn't matter anymore. We've taken over. We have tokens, we have our recursion stuff going on. They can't do anything anymore. We win. Many of the builds out there have removed Path to the Festival. I'm considering it myself. I find in some games it feels kind of win more. In other games it feels kind of, I wish you were a real answer. And then, so I would say those two categories are like 50% of the games, and then the other 50% are, I really want that ramp. I'm glad I had it, because now on turn 5 I can blood, or turn 4, depending on how the game's been going, I can blood, where without that I wouldn't have been able to. Other lists might run Binding the Old Gods, which is a fine choice, a little more removal. So far I still kind of like Path to the Festival, but there are options. The real core is Chariot and Wrenn. Having some ramp to kind of get you rolling, get you a little quicker to that point, and then filling in the gap however you want to do that. So you could take this in a very aggressive direction, you could take this in a more control-y, grindy direction, kind of like we're doing. There's a lot of ways you can go with this very obvious shell here. It's a solid core, and then you can go in so many different ways. Augur is still in here. This card has been so good for the deck on almost every game. Very good. I still wouldn't run more than 2 myself. That's the update. Here's the current list for you. Obviously the untapped will be linked in the description, so you can see the full, history of all the changes and iterations it's going through. But I wanted to make sure I kind of put in a part here to kind of explain, what you're about to watch, the origin, and then also where it went after the video proper kind of left off, how we've updated and kind of kept the pace of stuff I've been seeing in the meta so far. So Thanks for your time, and enjoy the rest of the video. Okay. Now back. Alright, let's give this a try. See? See what we get here. Okay, that's a pretty bizarre hand. Okay, that's a little ridiculous. Okay. Alright, so let's wait for the opponent to do something. If not, we'll deadly dispute just on the end of their turn. Okay, Paladin class, so Pithing Needle will be great for that. Okay. Yeah. Huh? Oh, I can spell Paladin class. There we go. Alright, so now their Paladin classes cannot be pumped at all. Okay, we'll block just one of these. Okay, get sciences. And let's get that's happening. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Oh, it's even more. 14. Yep. Okay. Blood on the snow. Let's go with Confront the Past. Interesting. I'm gonna set up Lolth first. Okay. Interesting. Wrenn and Seven. 5/5 reach. All right. Victorious. So, just one game. We came really close to losing, but I think the general idea what went right? Well, Pithing Needle saved our butt. They could not pump the Paladin class. That really changed the game. Lolth, Blood in the Snow, so that really the classics kind of carried us here. Wrenn and Seven put it over the top with this token here. We did not really ramp like we wanted to, but in this environment, I don't know that we necessarily need the speedy ramp, because the token, even on turn 4 or turn 5, we did a little ramping first. Having a 5/5 with reach is still really powerful, and then the more we ramp, the bigger that gets. So combined with like our learn board and stuff, where we can just keep recurring Wrenn or Lolth, very powerful. So I think overall that was a pretty successful first run for our idea here. Okay, so let's continue. So before we continue, I think Pithing Needle is actually going to be way stronger than I initially anticipated. I think we can go down even on our Esika by 1 to add in another Pithing, to have at least 2 of those. Okay. Okay, so enter tapped, but we have some removal, eventual ramp, sort of, and then this guy. So we can at least play land from the top of our library. Alright, everyone's gonna be trying to rush with mono white, it looks like. Mm-hmm. Treasure. Okay, so I think it's worth it to remove this first before we let it get out of hand, splitting counters out. Like, that wouldn't have been very fun. However, from here, okay. Yeah. So we're going to shut down Faceless Haven. So now it's just a colorless land. Block. Sciences, obviously. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Let's see. I think our best bet is going to be to kill that. So we get the 3/3. We'll probably pump the Spirit Token, Luminarch. If they do and they swing in with everything, 6 here. We'll kill the Luminarch, but we are probably dead anyway. Yep. Yeah, they're being ultra conservative for some reason. They really don't need to be. So we'll gain some life. We'll get a green. Unbelievable. Oh, that was a huge mistake. Now I can't play the Shambling Ghast. Okay. $24 land and we get 2. That makes a lot of sense. Blocking here doesn't really change anything. This one's over. That was insane. 24 land. Get 2. Okay. That makes sense. Shuffler ain't broke, folks.
Shuffler ain't broke, folks.
Okay, continuing on. This is ridiculous. Okay. I think we're gonna put the Esikas back. I think the wall is more overall helpful for us. We'll start with Snarl. In Dimir at least. Okay. Okay, we're totally killing Champion of the Perished. Alright, so obviously this is a zombie themed deck here. Yep. Okay, let's get our ramp going. If they let it through, I would have let it through. Because they did not, I chose to just do our Deadly Dispute. So we'll hold up Pithing Needle. I'm not really sure what's in their deck yet. Okay. All right. All right, sure. Yep. Still be able to draw cards off it. It's fine. All right. Okay. Put them in for a rude awakening here. Bye. All right, we got a Wrenn out. Make another token. So they can double block, kill Esika here. That's okay. I'm fine with that. Okay, they don't need to try block. That's just a total waste unless they want to ramp. Even still. Yep. Sure. Yep. Sure. Okay. Alright, so let's Pithing Needle. We will say lol. Spider Queen. Thank you. We cannot do anything anymore. Cool. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, no attack. Sure. Sorry, bro. Let's get rid of that guy. See you later. Swing them with those. All right, so that time the deck did much more like what we wanted to. That was pretty beautiful. That's pretty perfect. Okay, so this is what I had in mind. This is what I was envisioning, right? Got a Wrenn and Seven out, Esika, making copies. These things are huge. They have reach. Primal Adversary, trample, get some other lands. This is beautiful. Beautiful. Hold the music. Hold the music. What you're about to watch was a 38-minute match for no reason. I have cut 35 minutes of that about to give you a much slimmed down version of the match that you're about to watch. This was the most egregious roping I've seen in quite a long time. So you're going to see parts that just kind of speed up randomly and skip ahead. That's on purpose to save you time. So bear that in mind. Just a editorial note, if you will. Come on, opponent. Anytime now. Yeah. Thank you. Alright, our opponent is going for the ultra long game. Oh. Whew. Got my nap in, at least. Ah. Alright, now at least we have removal up. If we really need it. Very quickly. Next we'll bring out the chasm here. Okay, opponent is taking sabbatical from our match here. I don't know. So Midnight Hunt. I think it's going to be very interesting to see all of the new decks that come out. Okay, sure. Jeez. More removal that we don't really need. It's obviously a powerful set, but it's not, I think, outright broken. The overall theme and the way the cards seem to be designed, how they want this stuff to be played, what I can see just from initial looking at the cards and kind of like what we built here, it feels like they're trying to return to how Magic felt like 10-15 years ago when you would build a deck. There was a lot of interaction, there was some speed, but it wasn't exactly obvious all the time. So it's going to be, I think, very cool to see all of the different things people come up with Midnight Hunt being mixed into what we had from Standard. Now if we could just have our opponent play quickly. This is crazy. Alright, let's get rid of that. A deadly dispute and nothing really to use it on. We could trot Primal Adversary out there, but it would be totally useless right now. Rakdos colors, so they probably have Immerstrom. Could be a Extus token build. Goldspan is quite obviously in there somewhere, so got the nice red dragon from AFR sleeve. It's cool. Really like this new sleeve here. The lighting work they did on these highlights is very nice. Very cool looking sleeve, I think. My word. Alright, it took like 20 minutes to get here. They're finally attacking. So we'll try to save this for like a gold span. And that one for Immerstrom. Come on, opponent. You can do it. There we go. Good lord. Okay. If they gold span here, we go down to 10. The scry could be helpful though. Let's see. Let's grab a swamp, I guess. Oh, basic land. We do not. They're taking so long. My mind has turned to mush. At the least, technically, we could adversary and make him a 5/4. Make one of those a 3/3. If nothing else, see what they kind of play out here. Gotta be careful though, if they actually want to do something, they're gonna run right into their combat phase. Okay, this opponent is maliciously roping. It's quite annoying, but it happens. Ooh, Night Twitch. Okay. Something. Alright, we can play a creature. Woohoo! So we could Deadly Dispute here, but I'd rather try to leave it up for block. There it is. Finally. Mm-hmm. Alright, what do we want? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get guess sciences for the life. Yeah, it's not super helpful, but what are you gonna do? Okay. Have a green. Whoa, it's not working. Do it quick. Quick looking buddy. Don't know. Don't want to do that. Okay, let's see. 2, 3, 1, 2, and I have 2 left, so we can still shush mash something. So this is saying, save me from the rope. It's crazy. Could pay twice, but I want to keep up removal option or dispute if we really need it. Okay, pass the turn. I'm surprised the opponent hasn't done more. I'm really curious what's in that hand. I haven't really seemed to cast very much. Like draw or even bomb creatures, which at this point I'm kind of surprised if they don't have. Like even if they were to bring out a gold span at this point, I don't think we'd use the Baleful. Try to hang on to that. Sure. So if they have, it's also kind of odd that they haven't used any of those Shatter Skull Smashings to actually kill something. Pithing Needle. Okay. I think we'll just ramp. That's not bad to get. Nice. Play that. If we can find a Wrenn, we're going to be in good position. Come on. Can do it. Wow, I finally did something. Okay. Deadly Dispute. I'm gonna go for a kill. With the Eye Twitch. -1 on the Chasm. Okay, so they might be going for a Cinderclasm play then. That'd be interesting. I don't think that would necessarily help very much, but sure. Okay, that was just a total waste. What are you doing? So we do 3, we can do 1, 2, 3 pumps. Still have a removal left. Yeah. So even if they Shatter Skull, we can just get rid of the smaller Primal. And I don't think we will not make any of these creatures. Just pump him up. Because I don't want some craziness to happen and I lose all my land here. So we'll let that sit. No attack. And turn. Pretty sure this game has been going on for like 30 minutes. It's crazy. Okay. Thanks for totally wasting our time. So even if the opponent was playing normal speed, we did what we wanted to do. We stabilized, and we got to a point where pretty much anything that they were going to do, we could answer. That's what we want. So this will play kind of aggressive, or like we just did, play where you can kind of sit back, just go wide and wait. I wanted this to be kind of versatile like that. Okay, let's see. Let's hope this opponent is faster. Seems like they are so far. Yep. Okay, cool. Nice. So we're gonna actually let that die. We will grab Sciences, Snarl, Needle, Ranger Glass. Okay, no pump for you. Grab a land, that brings us to 5. So at the end of their turn, we could sack the Pithing Needle so we can drop land for Deadly Dispute. So we can drop a land the next turn, Blood in the Snow, depending on what they do here. Old Growth Troll, excuse me, is very unfortunate because even if we kill it with Blood in the Snow, they can just kind of get the token back, right? So they can just get a token back and then still kind of swing in for 4. And then they'll have availability from Ranger class again, so hopefully we get an actual answer somewhere here. Okay. Alright, maybe the opponent disconnected. It's possible. Not the adversary, I guess. We have a lot of fight spells, so we're not gonna make a land into a creature because they could easily just use Blizzard Brawl, for example, fight our land, kill it, even though they won't make their creature indestructible. That would be very unfortunate. So we'll forego that aspect of this guy for now. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous, I think. Apparently they were that salty about the Pithing Needle that they felt they couldn't continue. Jeez. Alright, let's try one more. Okay, apparently the secret is going to be Pithing Needle. Just shove that in everything, and you're just gonna get annoyance scoops from everybody. All right, that's going to be the secret to standard. You heard it here first. Pithing Needle, Pithing Needle, Pithing Needle. Just cram it everywhere. Cram it everywhere. I mean, it is strong, you know, like we shut down the Ranger class, sure, but that was a little overreaction, I think. All right, let's not mulligan this time and see what happens, maybe. Despair. Okay, maybe a party deck. Yeah. Block. Dispute. Containment breach. Okay, well, we got blood in the snow for days. 3, 4, 5. Alright, so we'll get the tap land out now. Containment breach. That guy. Thank you. Get our little chumpy chump. Yep. Stay at 18. Sure. Yep, it's fine. Okay. Swampy swamp. Blood in the snow. Here we go. Eye twitch. Yep, it's fine. Product fumes. Okay. Out in the snow again. Bye. Bye, Twitch. Yep. Yep. So the opponent right now is trying to figure out how they can make the token, activate Esika, and copy the token, and they cannot. So that'll cost 1. And then to activate the Hydra to be a 4/4, they would need 4 + 1, which they don't have, obviously. They haven't played out land, so they cannot do that. They could just activate the lair for, okay, for 3. Okay. Sure. Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go with pest summoning. Yep. And let's see. That's not a creature right now, so that wouldn't help. We could ramp, but I'd rather hang on to the mana for Deadly Dispute. Okay. See what we can draw into here. All right, that's pretty sweet. Okay, so make our enormous token. No attack. Yeah. Okay, do they have a fight spell maybe? Yep. That is fine. What we can do now is that. And opponent scoop. Okay, well, let's see if we can get up one tier. Let's try one more. All right. We got a Pithing Needle. And we're 1 away from those guys, so I think we'll keep it. Put that down. Thank you. Class. Peace out, homie. Yep, goodbye. So obviously the opponent is playing a Trelasarra life gain deck. We want no part of that. Again with the 2 land. It's ridiculous. No attack. Okay. I think we have to just kind of sit. That won't help you. There we go. Just keep the ramp going here. So we got double black. Let's get double green. No attack. New opponent. Oh, even better. Okay, swing in. Wrenn, this card is crazy good. Crazy, crazy, crazy good. Okay. Alright. Sure. Let's see. Yeah. Head switch. Let's get a environmental sciences. Land. Sure. It's fine. Okay, so we want to keep that. We're not gonna plus. Skillful Mastery, that. Bye. And Esika's Chariot. As well. Get the land out. Okay. Well, they've gone back and added in new animations for stuff. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, friend's passed. Okay. So let's go right for the blood. Get the Augur back. Grab a land. 9/9. Okay. And turn. Get Wrenn back. Make another token. Tap that one. Might as well play that out. Next. Attack. Okay. Okay, opponent was done. Okay, so that's the deck. Interesting play, I think. It's like I said, it's kind of ramp, kind of not ramp. I think it'll need some tweaks. It seems like the hand algorithm is off or something. The hands we're getting are nuts, totally nuts. So I'm gonna play around with that and see where I can get. But obviously, deck list is down below. If you enjoyed the video, enjoy, content we're doing here, please give a like. That helps a lot. Look forward to comments, questions. Please feel free to leave those, and any ideas you have for cards, decks, stuff you want to see. Happy to build, happy to play test, so please send them my way and we will build it out for you, test it, tweak whatever you guys want. And other than that, wherever you are, have an excellent day. Thanks.